What's up guys, I'm here with another video. Welcome to episode 56 of Building Stuff. Today we're building the Chum bucket from SpongeBob SquarePants. I built the Krusty Krab and yeah, I decided to build the Chum bucket because it looks very nice to me. So let's build the Chum bucket. But before I do that, I need to look at some comments. Hello Eli's Gamer Girl, welcome to the live stream. Anyway, let's build the Chum bucket.
Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Chum bucket from the show SpongeBob for all of your city building needs. After I made the Krusty Krab into a city build, the illustrious seafood restaurant that it now is, I've done the same with the Chum bucket, whilst still keeping as closely as possible to the original Chum bucket, as you can see with the eating area and the kitchen area. I'm going to be honest with you guys, the Chum bucket is a lot more simple than the Krusty Krab. There's not actually too much to it.
Hello, Carol plays Roblox, Flip, Clip and Garcher. Welcome to the live stream.
Area, drive-through window, car spaces, and assimilating it into a city environment, we have successfully turned the Chum bucket into a city build. I hope that you guys enjoy this one. Please do remember to hit that like button, as it helps me and the channel out very, very much. And try and watch as much of this video as you possibly can. That is insanely helpful as well. But without any further ado, let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make your build, a 22 by 30 block area, as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you feel as though it will help you plan out your build. I would always recommend it. Here are all of the materials. So we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of that stuff, we can get started. So step one, if you have made the grid, come all the way over to the front left hand corner of it. Count to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Begin by placing a light grey concrete on the ground. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
To the right of it. Place a light grey concrete behind and to the right, and then right. Place another behind and to the right, and then behind. Behind and to the right, and extend backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
a block behind and to the left, and then backwards. Behind and to the left, and then left. Behind and to the left, and then left by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then place a light grey concrete forwards to the left, and then left. Forwards to the left, and then forwards. Forwards and to the left, and then forwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
a block forwards and to the right, and then forwards, and then forwards and to the right, and then right. So the end result of this should be this shape right here. It's essentially a circle. Now, once we have made the circle, we want to increase the height of the circle by 2, meaning we take the bottom here and we place 1, 2 light grey concretes on top of every single light.
Hello, the Endslayer.everboss 2. Welcome to live stream. Hello, the Endslayer.everboss 2. Welcome to live stream. I don't know what you're talking about.
Concrete that we have for our circular base. Now, once we have established the shape of the chum bucket, which is, of course, well, I mean, a circular bucket, we will have to carve a little bit of detail into it, but we'll worry about adding the front door later. I say front door as opposed to like any other door. There's actually only one entrance / exit to the chum bucket. Although in the actual show...
Hello Everboss, welcome to live stream.
But now that we have done that, what we then want to do, and this is a little bit tricky, but I think that you guys will...
Unbanned my main account, Everboss. I don't know what you mean, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have no problem. We want to place a row of light grey concrete that is one row above, and then side of the previous layer of light grey concrete that we have for our chum bucket. So what that will end up looking like is a layer of light grey concrete. It doesn't want to connect in the corners, so you can see here it's just a circle that's essentially just one row bigger than the previous lower part of the circle. So it's just to give our chum bucket a little bit of a shape, and it'll end up looking a little something. I mean, it's easier to see from the top because you kind of get perspective.
I just typed on my main account, I am blocked, unblock me, Everboss, you kid that exposed you. Well, mate, basically, why did you expose me? Leave me alone, bruh. I play Minecraft, and I don't like haters, like, basically swarming me and just exposing me. It really just really annoy me, because basically, I don't like trolls on my page, because basically, I don't like people hating on me, because it really hurts my feelings. So I don't like anyone exposing on me, so, yeah. Expose. I'm no a hater. Okay. I was just wondering.
It'll look a little something like this. Now, when it comes to the top part of the chum bucket, once you have made that extension, we want to extend it up by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I stopped, dude. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And just as with the lower part of the chum bucket. We want to raise up every single block that we have, so that's exactly what we are going to do. And the thing is, as we do this, you may consider that if you want things to be ever so slightly more proportional, but this is the way that I've designed it, so I'm not going to change it for myself. You may perhaps want to make the chum bucket ever so slightly taller. However, I struggled with this, because I could have made it look ever so slightly more proportional. Like the chum bucket. Should be a little bit taller really, but for my city and for the builds that I make for my city, the chum bucket is actually already rather tall, so it would look out of place for the other stuff that I make, and you guys might even be able to see, like, as we look to the, well, to the left, it's kind of the left of the chum bucket, but like straight ahead as we're building. Like, this towers over a lot of the other city builds that we have, especially all of the other kind of restaurants. So, whether or not you want to build this to a scale, like, building it taller won't really affect the inside at all, but it certainly does affect the outside, and also we don't want something that is so disproportionately large in our city that it stands out too much. Like, these things are supposed to be subtle, and I know that there's nothing subtle about a big metal bucket-shaped restaurant in your city, but I think that you guys understand my point. Anyway, now that we have done this, we are going to grab our grey concrete, and we are going to place a layer of grey concrete all the way around the edge of the top of just around the top. We don't want to place it on top, around the top, and this will be the lip of the bucket, so it will look a lot better shaped. It will break up the monotonous colour of the light grey, and everything will look good. So now that we have done that, what we now want to do is we want to make room for the entrance. So the entrance is going to be right in the middle of the front of the chum bucket. So I'm going to add a vertical row of light grey concrete here on the front. I'm going to add 2 vertical rows on the left and right sides on the largest open face of the chum bucket. I'm going to dig out the remaining blocks that we have here, and then on top of these 2 yellow concrete blocks, the original row of the chum bucket, I'm going to destroy them, replace them with Prismarine, oak doors on top, and then glass block above the doors. So that's perfect. That is the entrance to the chum bucket. Now, since we already did a little bit of it, and just to kind of like shake things up a little bit, I'm going to destroy the ground, and I'm going to replace the inside of the chum. Using Prismarine, so specifically, of course, this good old regular Prismarine. There are alternatives, but I quite like it. I don't use the block too often. I quite like the texture. It's very weird inside the chum bucket, and I mean, I guess that is the point. Like, whoever originally designed the chum bucket, not Plankton, you know. Well, I guess technically Plankton in the show, but you know, whoever designed the chum bucket, it is meant to be like a little bit like. It's meant to feel almost like a factory, like a little bit lifeless, a little bit dull. So I think that the Prismarine works quite nicely, and honestly, I like the colour of it a lot. I think the only thing that throws the Prismarine off is the texture, where it looks like a wine glass. So, or it kind of looks like a slingshot, or it kind of looks like a tuning fork or something. But anyway, that is what we want to have at the moment. And we will add a ceiling to the chum bucket. So I'm going to make the ceiling of the chum. Actually, these are 2 different things. We might keep the ceiling this high, but this is the roof. I'm simply going to layer
Hello, I get Sing H. Welcome to. Hold on. Hello, I get singer. Welcome to live stream. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. These names are pretty tricky.
Grey concrete, one row below the top of the bucket, just across, well, literally just across the top of the bucket, just one row down and then across the entire bucket. So I think that this is a nice suitable roofing material. Feel free to change it if you do feel as though something else would do a better job, but it just seems to me that it fits, and it's a darker colour which would make sense to me. So there we go, that's not looking too bad whatsoever. So now that we have done that, we should work on the other details of the chum bucket. So this is up at the top. I want you to find the two middle blocks, or the left and right side of the chum bucket. Basically, you've got a row of 6, so if you count in 1, 2, 3 and 4, numbers 3 and 4 are the middles. Place light grey concrete underneath, and then grey concrete underneath and to the left and right of the light grey concrete. Extend up on top of these middle 2 grey concretes and place 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is on both of them. Light grey concretes extending up, so it'll end up looking a little something like this. Then we want to take the top of the row and we want to extend in and up, in and up, in and up. And that's pretty much it. So we want to double up on that row and we'll have something which should look like this. We then want to take the top of this and extend it inwards by 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then that is kind of like where we're going to leave it at that. You will notice, or may notice, that the light grey concrete is even and level with like this part of the chum bucket, so it doesn't intrude on the middle 6 blocks, it comes right to the edge. And we want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So on the opposite side, you take the middle 2 blocks, light grey concrete underneath, grey concrete left and right, grey concrete underneath, and then we take the grey concrete blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we place the light grey concrete, and then we extend in, up, in, up, in, up. Then in 1, 2, and we want to double up on that row. And all being well, we should have something that should look, kind of looks like a beetle or something now. It's kind of weird. Almost sort of reminds me of Plankton, this, except like a metal version of Plankton. Kind of got the eye, sort of similar-ish sort of head shape, it's a bit flatter. And you've got the 2 antennae. Anyway, we want to join the light grey concrete together with a layer of blue concrete, left to right, just like this. We then want to extend a row of blue concrete all the way around, front to back, the original row of blue concrete. So the best way that you can think about is that you want to encase the original row of blue concrete in blue concrete. So just like this, you've taken those 2 original rows and you've all the way around, almost as if you've wrapped it in blue concrete. We then want to take the bottom and the top of the shape and we want to place a strip of blue concrete, strip up the middle, like leaving a gap on the left and right sides. You just want to you're just making I guess it's actually a square of blue concrete on the top and the bottom. So you're kind of shaping you're shaping this is going to be a hand quite nicely. And then you want to take this is just on the front right side here. You want to place blue concrete here, below, let it be a hand quite nicely. And then you want to take this is just on the front right side here. You want to place blue concrete here, below, left 2, and then you want to place a square of blue concrete to the bottom and left, and it just looks like a hand. So I mean, you got to use a little bit of imagination, and if you want it to look ever so slightly more hand-like, you may want to perhaps try and extend the middle up. Does that look even more hand-like? No, it looks a little bit goofy. I think I'm quite happy to leave it exactly how it was, and honestly at that I'm quite happy. So what are we going to do next? I think that the next course of action for us is going to be to make the surrounding area of Chum bucket. So I'll tell you what, the first thing that I want to do is I want to make the first 2 rows of the grid, left to right. I want to make them disappear, just like this. And then I want to place smooth stone on the left and right sides, just a single strip. Then I want to place 3 rows of grey concrete, so that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and this is on the left and the right side, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then between them I want to place a layer of smooth stone. So smooth stone, 3 grey concrete, and then a big chunk of smooth stone. Now when it comes to the left and right sides extending backwards, I want to place terracotta. I also want to place terracotta. Extending across the back of the grid for the Chum bucket, and then of course all the way along the right side as well. The back of the Chum bucket, or the back of the grid, I want to add another row of terracotta directly on top. Then I want to place, or rather I want to extend the grey concrete backwards. So the grey concretes that we placed, the 2 rows of 3, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, I want to extend those both backwards to hit the back wall. And then we're going to extend them across the back as well. You'll notice that there are 3 rows maintained completely around the Chum buckets. And this is just the drive-through. I have to say around the Chum buckets is a multiple. Losing my mind over here. So, we want to have these 3 rows just carved out around the Chum bucket. And there we go, perfect. And then we've got to fill these in. And we also have some other minor details to add around the chum bucket. So we'll be adding a little bit of car parking spaces because we want to try and assimilate this into a city. And on the back, by the way, where we have the two patches of grass, take the corner block and just make a grey concrete because this will, it will just smooth out the shape. It will just make it a little bit more circular because we're going to be placing flowers just in that little shape there. It kind of looks like a mustache. It kind of reminds me of the Wonder Woman logo or McDonald's. And now I'm hungry. And luckily we're making a chum bucket so we can eat after this, although I probably wouldn't. I'd rather go to the Krusty Krab over there. Anyway, now that we've done that, we've made sure that we have curved those areas at the back.
Just gonna make the wall 2 rows higher because it just looks a little bit nicer.
Chum bucket. I want to further define the area at the front of the chum bucket by placing 2 rows of smooth stone leading from the pavement, the sidewalk of our city, and I want to extend it all the way to the door. In addition to this, I want to take these end 2 rows and I want to extend them out on the left and the right to kind of make a cross shape. Also curve this area that we have at the front. So I just want there to be, again, kind of like just 1 row around the edge of the chum bucket. So kind of like this, and then I want the rest of the area to be smooth stone because I think it just helps to shape the chum. Well, my bad. It just helps to shape the chum bucket because I don't want it to. I want it to feel a bit more rounder than it is. So now that we've done that, 2 car parking spaces, so left and right of this path, I'm going to, actually, the entire area except for the last strip of grass can be dug out. So on the left and right sides, except for the last strip of grass, all of this can be dug out, so just like this. And then we want to have white. Why can I not place this today? And why did I get rid of the grass?
Actually, I'll do this.
I'll just place something there instead. I don't want to use white because it's too light, although light or smooth stone isn't any better. So I want white concrete on the left and right sides like this. And then I want grey concrete in between. And as I mentioned already, it's just kind of like car parking spaces, just to make this, just to kind of like draw it. this belongs in SpongeBob, you know? So now that we've done that, let's grab some different materials, although we will be coming back to a lot of these. We need azure bluettes or any flowers. Yellow carpet, oak leaves, polished black stone, brick wall. Note block. Item frames. Oak signs, and we'll just leave that as it is at the moment. Car parking spaces want to have yellow carpet on the ends of the 3 middle blocks of the car parking spaces. Oak leaves on the outsides of the car parking spaces, that's where we like the grass. And then the flowers are... for the remaining grass patches that we have around the Chum bucket. And it's as simple as that, there's nothing else to it really. So here, all the way around just like this, and yeah, perfect, nice. So that is what the end result of this should look like. There's not too much more to do with the outside except for the sign, but we'll be doing that before we dump all our materials. And we also want to have, on the back of the Chum bucket, we want to have a little bit of a menu. You guys know how it works. A lot of fast food places, you've got a little bit of a menu around the drive-thru area. So we're going to have, just along the back, like a couple of signs, item frames. And I've just thrown them away, literally. A couple of signs, item frames. And then on the end here, I'm going to place a polished blackstone. I can never remember this. Polished blackstone brick wall. What a mouthful! With a note block on top, and it just looks like a speaker box. So that's pretty much the entire deal. Now that we've done that, we are going to head inside a little bit, and we are going to segment the inside of our Chum bucket, and as dark and as lonesome as it actually seems from the show. So, okay, it's time for us to start work on the inside, and to do that, we're going to begin by grabbing the light grey concrete, grey concrete, dark oak doors, black stained glass, red concrete, polished blackstone brick wall, quite right that time, crimson slab, red car, and the white concrete. So once you have gathered all of these materials, we want to come towards the door, the right side of it. We want to move to the right by one, hence why we have this light grey concrete here, and we want to extend from the wall 1, 2, 3 with the light grey concrete. Place a red concrete on the end, extend up by 1, 2, and then right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Drawing down to the ground, take the block that hit the ground and place a light grey concrete next to it, extend to the right one, and then extend across the back of the build using light grey concrete to hit that wall. Then I want you to place light grey concrete on top of the 2 rows that we have either side of the red concrete area. So I want you to paint the light grey concrete as high as the door. In addition to this, I want you to add 2 additional rows of light grey concrete on top of this wall area. Not only that, but across this back wall here, I want you to place 2 red concrete here on the left, extending up, 1, 2. Extend right by 3, 1, 2, 3. Join down, fill the middle in using black stained glass paint. Leave a gap of 1, and then place 2 white concrete. Extend up by 2 rows, 1, 2. And then simply place light grey concrete left and right of the white concrete, across the top of this window, and then across the top of the wall. And then just fill in the area using light grey concrete. On top of all of this, I want you to place a row of grey concrete, and I'm realising we should add a little bit of light into the room. So the way that we're going to accomplish that is, on the side of the build here, I want you to dig out a 2x2 square. Now this will coincide with the 2 middle blocks that we have on the right side of the chum bucket. So I want you to also do the same thing on the opposite side. You take the 2 middle blocks and make a 2x2 square. Difference being is on this side, this is a drive-through, so you only half fill in the window, and difference is on the opposite side, it's a full window. The grey concrete is to be extended across the build. So what that means is, so I want you to basically just fill in the left. That the grey concrete is in, I want you to fill it in like this, so that it creates a ceiling. And in this ceiling, we are going to be adding some light a little bit later on. But grey concrete just seemed like an appropriate material for the chum bucket. And an alternative idea is, because the chum bucket is metal, some stone wouldn't be a bad idea, because it's sort of got like, especially stone, but it sort of has that welded together metal texture, but I don't know, I think I prefer the concrete. But now that we've done that, we need to smooth out the walls, so above the window area, and I mean you can see where it needs doing, I want you to smooth out the walls by placing the light grey concrete where necessary, so above the door and such. Like if we wander over into here, we also want to like just fill these walls in using light grey concrete, even above the dry.
I love your build.
You can even mark out
Thanks.
the top of the window a little bit with some red concrete if you like, make it look a little bit nicer. Maybe even the bottom as well, just to mark it out more, like along this back. Well, I mean, you can see hopefully quite clearly where we have to place all of the light grey concrete. So here, here, no, mostly there. There we go. The only other thing I want to do is just where we have like the door here. I just want to fill in this this wall. I just want to smooth it out because otherwise it's just kind of like a weird part of the chum bucket. But other than that, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Like we've smoothed things out. We've kind of got the layout down now. And oh, we can use our dark oak doors. That is the literal separation between the kitchen and the easing area. What else do we need? So we need the crimson trap doors. We need item frames. We don't need the regular doors anymore. Oak signs. Any signs will do actually. And in front of the white concrete area here, I'm going to dig into the ground and I'm going to place a crimson. Trapdoors on top. I think that's a vent of some sort. Above the red concrete frame of the door on the left, I'm going to place again another vent. On the right side here, above the right door, but where the light grey concrete is, I'm going to place 2 black stone wall, join up. I also want to place another black stone wall. It's the right side of where we have this window here for the kind of like order window. I'm going to place like another black wall. Reason being, there's loads of pipes and stuff. It's very industrial inside here. Not industrious, but industrial. We want to place item frames on the white concrete area. This is kind of like an order board. Oak signs left of this. We'll fill those in with something later on, probably fish, because chum bucket is kind of, you know, I mean, a little bit cannibalistic. Not, you know, it is what it is. So, now that we have done that, you guys ever realise that, like, the chum bucket, it's like, chum is like fish parts and stuff, kind of like meant to attract like bigger fish, so people going to the chum bucket are technically eating fish, which is a little bit, you know, okay, well, anyway, so we want to add a couple of tables. So the tables are, we line them up with the front of this window here, gap of 1, 2 black stone wall. Gap of 1, 2 black stone wall, boom, that's it. I mean, sort of nailed it really. We're going to place crimson slabs on the left and right side. I mean, we could probably add in another table. Maybe like, actually not really, because it'd have to be here. Well, unless we place one against this wall. The tabletop is going to be red carpet. It's like very school lunch table inside the chum bucket. Like, it reminds me of school quite a bit. We may even flatten out this wall here as well. So like this wall, I might just add some light grey concrete just to kind of like flatten it out a bit. Yeah, as well. So like this wall, I might just add some light grey concrete just to kind of like flatten it out a bit. Yeah, I think that actually does help a little bit as well. Like, it reduces the area. I mean, it kind of makes it feel a little bit better. We're going to need the sea lanterns. Sea lanterns are to be placed in the ceiling. Where's a good place for them? Like, the middle of the ceiling. Let's just get one place. So, the middle of the ceiling, if we can have like 3 blocks on the left, and we can have 3 blocks on the right if we have 2 sea lanterns right in the middle. There's 2 blocks behind and a row of 4 in front, so that means that the dead center of the ceiling would be here. However, I'm thinking... that little lighting situation actually doesn't look too bad. I sort of like it, so I might just have it look like this. I'm going to move through the chum bucket. It's I'm going to add like a little light here just above where the drive-through would be. I might just have it look like this. Move through the chum bucket. It's I'm gonna add like a little light here just where the drive-through would be. I'm gonna add a little light here, like just right in the middle. How I'm lining this up is like where we have the order window. I've got the sea lanterns, so that kind of like makes sense. We've sort of exhausted our materials, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. We've just sort of ran out of stuff. Like the only thing that we haven't done, which I'm reluctant to do, you guys know how I feel about it, is the dreaded sign. So that's probably what we're going to be doing next. And I'm just going to dump out all of this stuff. I don't know why I feel the need to dump all of this out, but I do. I'm going to grab looms, light grey banner, red.
Alright guys, I don't need this guy's help because I already know how to make banners, so yeah. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. Just gonna continue making the banners. Chum. Oh.
right of the U, and then there are no repeat letters. So also, the chum bucket, leave a gap of 1 on the left, C, H, U, M. Perfect. So, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have to grab some final material.
Express yourself with the most downloaded fonts.
I guess that wasn't too painful. We had a few repeat banners. So, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we have to grab some final materials to finish off the chum bucket. We'll even be making another set of banners, my favourite. I'm going to grab everything that we need, and I'll show you what we need once I've got it. Okay, so here are the...
Okay. Let's finish the inside of the chum bucket. So...
remaining materials that we will need to finish off our build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. So, I'm going to begin by grabbing cauldron, rail, dark prismarine stairs.
Oh, normal rails, not detector rails.
Furnace, black, polished blackstone pressure plate, polished andesite stairs, item frames, lodestone, black concrete. So, I realise that we've got a few different hard materials here, like feel free to use any stairs and feel free to use any lodestones as well, any lodestones, any grey block will do, any sort of stone is what I was trying to say. So, we've headed back into the chum bucket, and along this back wall is going to be the cooking area. So I want to start off with a couple of cauldrons, a couple of furnaces, and then a couple of dark prismarine stairs. And then I want to place polished blackstone pressure plates on top of the furnaces, rails on top of the cauldrons, and I want to place item frames on top of the stairs. Polished andesite stairs are to go above the two furnaces. And then, on the right side over here is where the computer will be. So, this is going to be a couple of lodestones along the back, and then I'm realising that really we need a little bit more room for the computer. So, we might actually place the computer a little bit closer across this back wall here. Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be. We could simply just alter the shape of the mouth of the computer. So the computer is just going to be across the top here, just this little 2x2 square. We've got the lodestones along the bottom, and all I want to do from here is I'm going to grab end rods, crimson button, barrel, spruce trap doors.
Okay, crimson buttons. Ooh. Crimson buttons. Barrels. Barrels. No, I don't want flipping beehives. Trapdoors.
and then loads of fish, basically, and we'll just leave it at that for a sec.
It'll be in nature.
On top of here, I want to place an end rod and a crimson button, just looks like controls for the computer. Along the back wall at the top, I'm just going to place a load of spruce trapdoors, and then barrel. Just to make it look, you know, like more restauranty, really. And then I'm just kind of going to place just barrels like it feels as though that there should be barrels here. I don't know why. It's sort of like all over the place. Just it. It feels like that's what this restaurant would be like. Everything would be straight out of like a barrel or a jar or a tub. So that's how I kind of like imagine it to be inside here. And anyway, so the item frames are basically just fill them up with fish. That's the inside. Or rather, that's the kitchen area. Same thing for here, just outside the custom area, the order board. And in addition to this, I want to do the same thing on the back. So four different varieties of fish will absolutely do, and that will get them all filled up. Of course, as I'm a little bit too lazy to do all of the signs, so feel free to label all of these, you know, I don't know, the Chum Bucket Surprise. I actually can't remember the name of the food from the Chum Bucket, like, it's not like, it doesn't roll off the tongue like the Krabby Patties do. And I think that that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, the only thing that we've got to do to finish this bad boy off is we need black banners, black dye, and lime dye. And we've got to make the mouth of the computer. So go over to the loom if you still got it, throw a black banner in there, throw lime dye in there, and place a diagonal, top left corner to bottom right corner. Grab it, throw that in, get rid of the lime dye, put the black dye in, make the bottom half of the banner black. Grab a new banner, fresh one, throw that in, and place a... we also need lime dye in there, that would be helpful. And we need a horizontal row straight. In the middle. Boom. That's the banner. So if we then head inside once more. By the way, it would look better if the screen was a little bit longer. But regardless, place the diagonal banner, followed by the black banner, and it looks like the mouth for the computer. If you like, you can make this a tad a little bit bigger, and then you'd be able to play it. You could even place it above the order board, and it basically just, I mean, you guys know what the mouth looks like, I'm sure. If you're any sort of fan of SpongeBob, I'm sure that you know exactly what the computer looks like. But ladies and gentlemen, we've sort of completed the build. There's not anything else that we need to do. I'm quite happy with it, to be quite honest. And all that I'm going to do now, I guess what we get, the only bit of detail that I guess we could do is just place a couple of barrels like across the
barrels. I'm gonna quickly add a few more banners. barrels here, then we should be finished. Before I end the video, I need to just quickly do / give barrier. Just got barriers, and I'm going to place these on the terracotta so no one like jumps like over the fence. Like, I just want to make it a little bit nicer and more sophisticated. Look at this. So look, and now look what happens. It looks like it's kind of like an electric fence. It's gone. Pow. See, now I can't jump through because it's a barrier. And no one can get through, but they can get in from the car parking spaces up front.
Across the back here, I don't see what else we could do. We could have paint. And stuff, but I don't want to make it too nice and bright. I kind of want to keep the feel of the Chum bucket alive, so I'm going to clean up the build, basically get rid of those numbers and stuff, and then we can take a look and we can put a finish to this. So this is what your Chum bucket will look like once it has been 100% fully completed.
Do you smell seafood? Chum bucket. Yes, the Chum bucket. This build is from the show SpongeBob. The reason why I built the Chum bucket is for any SpongeBob fans who basically you loved like the Chum bucket. You may know Plankton actually owns this restaurant, but no one goes to his restaurant in the actual show. But there is one thing in the movie where basically lots of customers come to Plankton's restaurant. I love this build. It just seems look at that with the hand and the thing that looks like a bucket. It just looks very authentic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building the Chum bucket from SpongeBob. If you did, guys, enjoy this video, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell so you don't miss a video, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day, guys. Peace out.